Round of the Speed Force Racing GP2 division. We are at Le Castellet for the French Grand Prix, and my name is Changing Wow, and alongside me is Martin, who was also in the commentating box last week. So, Martin, how are you looking
Yep.
forward for the second time in this commentating box?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's a great track to commentate on. Should be a lot of action. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Tight division as well, so should be a lot of action tonight.
Yes, and as we were going to the qualifying session, I heard you were having the standings in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. So obviously, last week's race turned out to really open the championship up now. So King David though is still in the lead after Canada. He's on 95 points. Then we have Ibne, who's retained second place. Even with his DNF, he's on 80. And Crimson, who's only actually joined 4 races ago, he's now up into third on 71. And then we have Gobbo, X-Gamer, Senna Martins in sixth, Mike, Nadeem, Quinton, Serge, Cassidy, James, Topics, Frederick and Chris. But I believe we've got a reserve running today as well, haven't we? Old Boy is running today. So that should be interesting. And then the constructors also, Alfa Romeo, they're still in the lead. 4 wins Alfa Romeo have had this season. Mercedes in second and Renault third. McLaren Racing Point, Williams, AlphaTauri, Ferrari, Red Bull and Haas.
Thank you for letting us the standings now. And looking at the qualifying, the weather conditions are cloudy, but it seems like we have dry running. I wonder if how the race is gonna be, as there's always some rain around the corner, around this track. And the first one out there is the Williams of Nadeem, I think.
It is a track that's really dynamic with weather. Even in the race, you can have rain and dry conditions to contend with. So, a lot of choices to make with setup today, depending on the conditions. We obviously don't know what the conditions are going to be for the race. A lot of guys going out on medium tyre just now.
Yes, and if the drivers who are watching or listening to the stream, let us know how the conditions will be for the race, so we can have a talk about that.
AlphaTauri just had a spin now.
It must be Mike, and yes, he spun, and it's raining already.
Yeah. They're trying to get out and get a quick lap in before the need the ants.
And some people are going to pull from the mediums to have a time on the board and hopefully they are in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know what the weather's going to be like, but if it's going to be a dry race, you would want to be starting on the mediums, ideally, as a one-stop race, is the ideal strategy. But you can do soft and then medium, that is possible.
Very true, the strategies are really the same as last season, where the medium hard is mostly the fastest strategy around here, but the two-stop isn't really too bad if you have the pace to do it.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so
we have Ibn in the pit, so he will start as last. I think the rain is going very hard.
Gobble lost connection as well. He left retired, left the session.
And he messaged me before we were going live that we can call him Double instead of Gobble. So we can forget the G in front of his PSN, so we can call him Double.
No worries.
But yeah,
so
yeah, let's see who's going to be on pole in this run. And everyone is looking very close if you look at the minimap, especially on the long straight.
Yeah. Frederick coming through just now on the softs.
Yes, we have been following him for the whole lap pretty much.
Yep.
And we lost Cassidy. And DRS is disabled. So Frederick is in professional P1 with 35.1.
That just tells you how wet those conditions are out there.
There we have Mike Wasp exiting the chicane.
And the soft tyre, right now you would, if it was dry, you would be looking at the 129s, the high 129s, so it just tells you how much grip's been lost out there.
Yeah, and we can now definitely confirm that Frederick is on pole. He was 2 seconds faster than the Fry people in the Ferrari.
Yeah. And unless it dries out soon, that could be the pole lap. Everyone else seems to be struggling.
It's not looking very dark, so maybe it could, but in more than 10 minutes I don't really think. And even he just started his lap, so he totally miscounted the rain. And Nadim is really slow through main straight, and he's in the 156.
So I think at the moment X-Gamer will be the happiest out of everyone, sitting in 5th on the medium.
Yeah, I think it's a very good choice to go on medium.
Yeah.
And the softs are overheating quite fast around here.
Softs are really fast for about five laps, and then the pace really drops
even
off.
he lost it.
That was close.
I think everyone should retire now so we can go to the race. I was watching drivers in the rain, where the dry times are being is quite boring to watch, really.
Yeah. It depends. If it's going to be a wet race, they might see this as an opportunity to get some practice laps in.
That's true.
Crimson out on the intermediate just now.
I think if people are trying to do that, then we'll have rain in the race for sure. As Double has joined us back.
I would expect to see Nadim coming back out again, maybe King David. I think they'll be thinking they can do a better lap than that. They're in the 150s at the moment.
Yeah, I think you can beat that on the intermediate.
Yeah.
And if it starts dry, they'll have a free tire, or even though they qualified inside the top 10.
That's right. Senna retired from the session.
That's probably that the weather isn't going to improve.
Yeah.
But let's see what Colin Crimson and Mike will do on those inters. See if they'll where that time will be, as they haven't set the time yet.
Crimson on his hot lap now. expect to see a lot of action at the end of this straight during the race.
Yes, that's where the overtakings should be, and there are a few places where you can overtake at turn 1. It could be at the final sector, really.
Yeah, turn 1's quite tricky. In my race yesterday, I tried to overtake in turn 1. If you've not got the overtake done before you go through the second part of the chicane, it can be quite tricky on the bump. It just forces you wide. But yeah, there's actually several places you can overtake here. So it's one of those tracks, if you can stay within the second, it's very easy to follow in behind. So we'll see how they do. This is Crimson's lap then, see what he can do.
6.
6. Good lap.
Not a bad lap, and let's follow Mike now to see what he can do. He has got the gearbox glitch on my screen.
Yeah, that was happening yesterday too. It's a Codemasters issue.
Yes, so let's see what Mike will do on for which position it will be. 7th, behind the Golden Crimson. Then let's follow Ebony, but he started just a lap, and he also hasn't set a time yet.
I think James having some connection issues too.
Yeah, but James has pretty much every race in
Yeah, it's a shame. He was having such a good race in Canada as well before he had his accident on the last lap.
Ooh, 5 people has crashed.
Yep, retired.
But he was still in 2nd place, so nothing to worry about for him.
See what Ebony can do.
Yeah, normally he's quite close to his teammate. And let's see what Ebony will do. He has some race wins under his name, and he's got to P8. 41.2.
Our championship leader, King David, out on a lap now. Coming to the line.
He will improve his time, that's for sure. P9. Doyle is around the final corner to set his first time. But it isn't going to be a very decent one. It's a 1:53.0.
So Crimson, I wonder if he'll be feeling if he can catch X Gamer. He's only 3/10 off X Gamer's best time.
Maybe you could say he could, but 3/10 is quite a big gap.
Yeah. Double on a lap now as well.
I'm following Quinton now, and he is in the 40s.0. Improves his position.
Yeah.
Nadim gets himself between the McLarens in P8. It's 47,000 faster than even in P9.
See what Dobbo can do today. He's put in a lot of practice this week.
Hopefully it pays off for him.
Yeah. And
141. At the moment the top 5 was qualified on the dry tire, and from Prix 6 to 12 on the intermediate tire, and 13th and 14th on the medium tire.
Surge still out putting in some hot laps. Improves his time.
But not his position.
41.7. Want Nadim up into 7th now at 39.8.
Oh, he improved his time.
Yeah.
And very close to Golden Crimson was out for another run. And Mike has just started the lap. He's already 2 tenths up on this time.
Yeah.
That's looking positive for him.
Oh!
Oh. His car
Had a big moment on the straight there.
Yeah, his car looked a bit nervous. Got a little toe from Surrey. And he invalidates his time. So as James has joined the session back, hopefully he can't do a lap anymore. Oh, King David has crashed heavily, but still alive. Yeah, that's not good for your confidence.
Think Mike's abandoned his lap now. Gonna give it another run.
And only has one flying lap to do it.
Crimson is fourth in the identical first sector to his last one for Crimson.
Will he get the P5 from X-Gamer?
Well, that's the question. Is there anything left in the track? It's going to be difficult, I think. 3/10 is a lot to make up, like you said.
And especially at a track where you are for a lot of the time on the throttle.
Yeah.
He's 9,000 up, so I think it will only be improving his position. Checkered flag is out, and let's see what Golden Crimson will do on his final run. Very good last sector he had.
Yeah, very close. Crimson looking very quick again round this track. Quinton got and Ebony running together.
Even though Double was crossed the line with the checker flag is out, he can still do another lap. That's quite interesting. But the McLarens are very close to each other. Oh, even he lost it!
Oh,
He's out!
Big moment there.
And Mike has retired. So we only have Quentin for a time lap.
Can he snatch 7th or 6th place?
Here he comes. 39.8. Oh, by 1,000! By 1,000 of Nadim!
Very close.
Yeah, it's only 3 centimeters. And if King David can retire in the pits, we can go through the grid.
I would imagine it must be a dry race. Just going by some of the times there.
Yeah, but I also think there could also be some rain in the mix.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully it's going to be very interesting.
And there we have it then, so the first person on track was the first one for pole position.
Yeah, so that's Tiana Frederick with a 35.1. Fry Pieper is second with Senna in third. Old Boy, I think he's a new one, is in fourth with X-Game the only medium qualifier in fifth. Then we have intermediate runners with Golden Crimson 6, Nadim and Quinton in 7th and 8th, Ebony in 9th, Double in 10th, and outside the top 10 are King David, Mike, Shayet, James, and Cassidy, who I think crashed out in qualifying. But that's the grid for the French Grand Prix. Do you see any surprises?
Well, as a track, so both GP races so far have had safety cars. That can shake the grid up a bit. So I wouldn't say that anyone's out of the race yet. Even the guys away down in 12th, Mike and King David, there's still a lot of racing to be done. Anything could happen.
That's true.
Will Frederick have the pace to be able to stay out in front?
Yeah, that's going to be seen. He's starting on a soft tire. That's good for track position, but it's not really a race tire around the track. It's sunny, so it's going to be dry. And let's see what the others who qualified on the intermediate are going to start on. It's probably a medium or a hard tire.
Yeah, you could try the reverse strategy with the hard tire first.
We'll know that in 20 seconds.
Very interesting as well. It's one of these tracks where you can go two ways on setup when it comes to wings. You can take a more downforce approach, which I think Crimson has definitely done. You could see that with his time, where you could run the less downforce option that gives you the higher straight line speed. And there's your predicted strategies.
So we'll see that the Golden Crimson has opted to start on the softs as the only one with his high choice. Then we have Nadine, Quinton and Ebony on the mediums. We have Double on the hards. I have seen him often starting on the hards, and at the end it will be a good position. And then outside the top 10 are all medium runners with King David, Mike Sayers, James Laser and Cassidy.
Interesting from Dobbo, I've not seen anyone actually try the reverse strategy, so should be interesting to see what sort of pace he has at the start.
Yes, indeed. And how are the softs gonna be for the 5 drivers who are on it?
Yeah, so Nelly saying in the comments there, the one stop is the best strategy if it's dry the whole race, so he thinks the top 3 will struggle. I tend to agree with that. The softs, after 5 laps on the soft, they really do start to drop off pretty quick, and the mediums are definitely the best option. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Maybe they know something we don't that they've been working on in practice.
Yeah, so let's see what GP2 has in store today at Le Castellet with Tina Frederick on pole, with 2 Belgians behind him. Then we have a new guy who is Old Boy, and then we have X-Game, and then Golden Crimson, who won the last 2 races in this division.
Yeah.
And how is the reverse strategy from Dobbo going to play out? His teammate Cassidy is rounding off the grid, so we can build the lights and then go really. The 5 lights are now coming on, and they're off for the French Grand Prix. And how is going to be the start for everyone? It isn't changing much, but Frederick keeps the lead. Double has been pushed wide, but
Is that a glitch? It can't be up to 4th, it's not up to 4th.
He definitely isn't. He's running side by side with McLaren, and I have a feeling that everyone is ghosting through everyone.
Yeah. Double looks to be getting swallowed up at the moment. All those people sitting behind him on the medium.
Nadim had a look at Quinton.
Sent up to 2nd.
Oh, indeed, and it's very close at the back of the field.
Yeah, a lot of racing going on here.
Here comes Ebony, very close to Double. Double has really to survive the first laps around here. The
hard tire take a few laps to actually kick in.
Oh, Mike has corner cut at the corner. Oh, contact between him and Chariot! Luckily the walls are miles away, but there's luckily still in the race, and after finishing the first lap, Senna is really close to Frederick.
Frederick with the fastest lap.
And Old Boy is looking very strong behind Fry people who have struggled at the moment in the first laps of the race.
Yeah. things begin to settle down now.
Here goes old boy already. The rest isn't enabled, and Golden Crimson is also looking quite close as there's a yellow flag, and that's Mike. But he's running now. No. So old boy is up to third, and Golden Crimson is behind Frypeeper. But Frypeeper is using ERS to defend.
You can also see Frederick is starting to break that DRS.
Ooh, yes, interesting. And Frypeeper goes down the inside of Old Boy. Very close to contact, and here goes Golden Crimson to the inside, and he'll stuck his nose behind his new teammate. So we have Alpha 3-4. They're all on the same tire. And Golden Crimson tries to go around the outside, and he done it.
Yeah. Fantastic start for Crimson.
Yeah, from 6th to 3rd in
the fastest lap along with it, as DRS is now enabled.
And X-Gamer is very close to this battle, and he and the others need to stay close to the softs, and the overcut can sometimes be working around a bit.
Something must have happened with Mike. He's out the back by 7 seconds. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I think he spun on the contact. It was on the previous lap. Also, we have Quinten on the inside of X-Gamer. They're going side by side. But X-Gamer defends, but his rear stepped out a bit. So side by side they're going to the fast right-hander now.
Get it sit down.
McLaren on the inside. And then the X-Gamer goes off.
Spins it.
Hopefully no one hits him, and no one hits him, luckily.
He manages to hold it.
But he's dropping down the field like my God.
There. Crimson coming close to Senna now.
Yeah, they had a collision last week in Canada where Senna became the loser out of that. So hopefully they can now have a clean battle without any contact. But DRS is now enabled, and Golden Crimson sets again the fastest lap, as we have a yellow in sector 3, but I don't see anyone there. Quinten has gone up to 5th.
To make those mediums work now, he's up into 5th.
Yeah, I think we are now coming to the point where the medium will come into play, and Senna has now in DRS of Frederick, so that's gonna help him out. Golden Crimson is really close, and the slipstream is working for him, so he'll make a move to the inside, but very close between the two.
This section of the track now is where you can often catch people out. If you've got the ERS to do it though, very important.
Yes, and Quinten has been up to 5th, same as Nadim. So I think Frypeeper is really struggling now on those softs, and maybe he should do an early undercut to go on to the hards, or maybe try to do a 2-stop. But Nadim didn't have a good exit there.
Yeah, Nadim struggled there.
So here goes the Ferrari, stuck his nose in. But he has now DRS on this on the start-finish straight. The same for Nadim. Senna's going down the inside of Frederick. Can he make the move? Still running side by side, and Frederick at the touch, But now Crimson goes very close behind Frederick. As we have a yellow, and that's James TLH.
That was a fantastic move from Senna. Really brave.
Yeah, I love that one that Senna did. I caught it on stream. But now
Crimson now on the back of Frederick. Should get the job done. And he does. Interesting to see, just on a side note, that Dobbo's really making those hard tyres work. Still able to maintain position.
I think
It's up at ninth.
yeah, and the field is still pretty close, even though they are on different tyres.
Yeah. You can tell that old boys now starting to fall away from the soft runners, struggling to keep up.
Yeah, Frederick has lost pace. Now we have Crimson right on the back of Senna. We'll go on board with him. But he's waiting for the main straight.
Pepper has pitted.
What will he do? He goes for the medium, so he's going for a 2-stop. And Quentin is only half a second of Old Boy, who was almost in this group, so don't count the medium runners out for the win. Will Crimson make a move? I don't. Yeah, Senna's too far away.
Quentin has Nadim to deal with behind him as well, so
yes.
it's one of the frustrating things about this track is you try and harvest a bit of VRS to attack the guy in front, but you get all this pressure from behind as Nadim tries to have a go on the inside.
Two drives from the SAF1 eastwards, I think, and Quentin holds on for now, but I think they need to work together a bit to go past these softs quickly. They can show the pace in clean air. As we have Colin Crimson into the pits. So the pit stops are coming now from softs, and Golden Crimson is the first one out of the top 3. And he'll go on to the hard tire? Yes, he will. So he's coming to the end. But how will the undercut work?
"20 laps in the hard tyre, that's pretty tough."
Senna hasn't got DRS behind him, so he can just focus on Crimson as Quentin is right on the back of Frederick, gets past, so the softs are dying now.
That's what happens, is they drop off so badly that the medium is really the faster tyre.
Yes, it's the best race tyre.
Absolutely.
As we have Nadim on the inside of Old Boy. Crimson has 21 seconds. So Senna goes low, stays out.
Yeah.
Frederick and Old Boy are coming in. So interesting that Senna stays out.
Maybe he feels he can stretch it out for the medium. You can do 15-16 laps on the medium, so if he thinks he can stretch the soft out.
Then you need to do, I think, longer laps, or really stretch out the mediums. But Frederick's going to the hards, and Old Boy calls for another set of softs. And Fly Peters is quite close to Old Boy, and he can make a move for P14. And just really look at the pace of the mediums. Quentin is now in the second of Senna, and that's DRS.
Yeah, so Old Boy probably going soft, medium.
And Dima's gone around Ebony, and Ebony lost the rear, saved it. And now we're coming out to the point that the hards are coming into play with only double started on it.
He'll be really happy with his start. showing fantastic pace. As you see Quinton now really on the back of Senna as those softs are starting to fall off.
Senna should be in, and he is. So we have now Quinton into the lead in front of Nadim and his teammate Ibini with double in 4th and Serious in 5th. And where will Senna come out against Crimson? Crimson will go in front of him. That's now confirmed with 32.5 fastest lap.
He lost a lot of time there by staying out on the softs.
Here comes Old Boy, had a look at Frederick. Senna comes out in front of them and that's 5 seconds to Crimson. Gobo is now really pushing behind Ibini on the hards. I think we will see those medium runners coming in 2 or 3 laps maybe.
Double, he will definitely be the happiest man on track right now.
Yes.
But what does he do? Does he stay out for the mediums or does he try and go on to the softs at the end? That should be interesting.
Yes, that's the positive thing. If you start on the hards, you can choose on what tire you want to go on, and with a soft or a medium, you have to go to the hards.
He's got all his options available to him.
But Ibini hasn't got DRS, so that will be more easier for the main straight that's coming. And it's very close behind Senna, who are still not his tires up to temperature. And Old Boy has to use his softs now, but the disadvantage he has now is that he's in a DRS train, and French, the Paul Ricard is a bit like a Formula 3 race where if everyone gets DRS you can't pass anyone, even though you're fast. So you have to make it through the corners.
I personally found that the launch off the little S section before you come onto the back straight is very important. If you don't get a good launch off of there, then you'll not be able to overtake.
It really is, and now Old Boy is at the back of Frederick. He will make a move to the inside.
And he gets it.
No, Frederick wants to fight for it. The Old Boy gets the switch back, but he'll have the inside now for the next turn. Still side by side there going. And finally he gets it. His camera goes into the pits for the first from the mediums. And Gobbo has been up to third now. Even though he's still battling, but he has got the position.
Fantastic. He will lead this race once Quinton and Nadim pit. As Nadim starts to push on to Quinton now, close that gap, he'll have DRS this time around.
Yes, now Ibini wants to come back on Gobbo. And he gets the position back, even. So he's back up to third.
I don't think Dob will be too concerned about that just now. He'll be thinking long term. These guys are going to be pitting soon.
I think if I was Gobbo, I see some side by side action between Mike and King David.
Yeah, Mike's doing pretty well. He had a bad start, but he's starting to really bring himself up through the field. Castay as well, he's up into 6th.
Yes, and
She actually comes into that.
yes, and he started last, up to 6. 6 chemical. I think the first 3-second time penalty, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And also King David and Mike are coming in. So the pit stops are coming now for the medium runners.
And Cassidy goes to the hards. Like 2.
All drivers are going for the hards now. Fry People is the only different driver who is on the 2-stop, the only one.
One of the McLarens is going to have to stay out for another lap. I'd imagine Quinton will go in first.
Yes, I think we'll have the first driver who was in front. That's Quinton, who was racing for the race win. That's the most important thing.
You can see Senna's really struggling to keep up with Crimson, as that gap's over 6 seconds now.
Yes, and Senna and Oldboy are having a battle.
Yeah.
And Quinton and Nadim are coming in, so the SAF1 team is coming in. We maybe could call them that way. They're the only drivers who are coming in. So the Ebony, Double and Surjit are staying out. But Nadim and Quinton will have the fresher hearts. That will be an advantage at the end of the race, in around 8 laps.
Yeah. You would imagine Crimson's going to try and stay out to the end of the race now, so he'll be feeling confident too. That gap's 10.4, 10.3 now.
Yes, and Frederick is only just ahead of Quinton. And Double is now into the lead of the French Grand Prix. So he can now show his speed until he pits. That won't also be too long.
Well, he should get a bit of respite at the end of this lap, you would imagine. He'll have free air to really put his foot down. Show what he can do. Is Old Boy really still in the back of Senna? Giving him something to think about.
Who he took a very wide line.
Oh, even
And so it stays out for another lap. Onto the hards, Evening will come, and let's see where he'll come out as Old Boy is now coming into the pits with only 5 laps on the softs.
yeah, that's when the pace really starts to fall off those tyres, is around lap 5. It does go in the medium now, that will take him to the end.
Yes, indeed. So Senna has now quite a train behind him.
You can now see Surge's tyres must be falling off quite a bit now. That gap starts to open up between him and Dobber.
Mike and James are running side by side through the chicane. James on the soft tyre, Mike on the hard tyre, so James has the position and needs to run away now. But this side by side. That won't work.
It's really difficult to overtake around the outside here.
Especially around there. As Surjit is now into the pits.
Double with his first time penalty, I think. 3
Yes.
seconds.
I'm not seeing very much time penalties as 5 people coming in for second stop, so we have a double stack of Ferrari. Not the smartest, but
Yeah.
Frederick's really at the back of Senna and he broke quite late. So that is an invitation to Quinten, who was getting no closer.
Yeah, Quinton on the fresher tyre too, only 2 laps out.
Yeah, those hards will really come into play now. And if Quinten and Dean can pass Frederick and Senna, they could close the gap to Crimson. But we have to look out for Double, who is going to be on a softer tyre.
Well, Double's starting to come into that window now, where if he was wanting the medium, he could possibly pit in the next lap. But
Here we have Mike and James again. Side by side. Oh, very close between the two and there's almost contact. And James moves to the inside. He gets it, but Mike... Oh, they're wheel banging almost. Running still side by side. James locked up the tire, gets squeezed out. Still side by side, they're running.
we'll have the inside now.
Oh, contact!
Oh,
Elbows out from Mike.
Mike lost out in a bit of time to Cassidy in that battle. Quinton and Nadine still within a second of each other. I think that'll be a battle right to the end between them two.
Yes. Seriously at the back of Ebony. There's only a lap between them in terms of the tires. Here comes Nadim to the inside of Quinten. But only showed him really in the mirrors. Stuck his nose in. Serge is up to 7th.
Surge past Ebony. Inside.
When do
See
you...
that gap really starting to close now between Crimson and Double? He's lost a second and then almost a lap, about a lap and a half. That time's really fallen now.
When do you expect Double to pit?
Probably in the next lap, I would imagine. He's losing so much time right now. He's lost 8/10 in the first sector almost.
That's really bad. That's really time to coming now and get the mediums on, where you can really push on.
Especially if he's got...
Here comes Quinten. Here comes Quinten, but Frederick defends. Well, so X Games is the fastest lap on his mediums.
Like if Double was to pit now, he might come out ahead of Cassidy.
And Sai Adas has commented and he said George, who was apparently Double, will mostly like to stretch it to lap 20 and go on softs. Will that be a good strategy, you reckon?
I don't think so. I don't think that would be the best. I think that's what he's doing, but I don't think it's the right call. Given his situation. You only get 5 laps of pace in the softs and then they really fall off, so... But I'm sure Darbo knows, he knows what he's doing. He's clearly thought this through. He's had a lot of practice this week. he's losing so much time in these last few laps.
2 seasons ago, when I was in the highest division of Reservoir, I did the hard to soft strategy, and it pays off if the field is really close, and if Double now pits, he will come around behind Ebony, I think, and in front of Cassidy. But then this group where we are looking at, that's then some 6 seconds away.
You can see now that Frederick's on the back of Senna as well.
We have a yellow. That's James LH. He's not having the race he wants.
No.
Gobbo stays out, so I think he really wants to go on to the softs.
Really good battle developing for the podium here in third.
Yes, and expect time penalties to be included.
Yeah.
But Gobbo got his second one.
Another time penalty.
Quentin is showing Frederick that he's there. I have a feeling that we might see a change for fourth on this lap, as also Nadim is quite close to Quentin. Oh, the McLaren is off! Quentin is off!
Not what he wanted.
Quite a weird accident, and he drops behind his teammate. So that's one car behind Frederick gone. And extra point for Williams. And James, I think he has rage quitted. So it's not seeing really a point running in 14th with no chance of points really.
Yeah.
Fry Pieper is coming in for his first stop.
Well, Crimson looks to have the race all sewn up here. Yep.
And Double is now in.
Where will he come out?
I think he will be around the McLaren's. As Golden Crimson has left the session.
Oh.
Soft it is for Double. And
yeah,
look
at the gap closing with Senna.
Oh.
Lost internet connection. Looked like Crimson's race to win as well.
You can invite him back if you can do that. Fry Pieper has crashed. Safety car!
Now takes the lead. Safety car.
So now
Double will not be happy with that, or maybe he will. I think he'll need to give that place back. Just overtook Quentin.
But have you sent Golden Crimson an invite, or so he can join back?
I don't actually have him in my PSN.
Oh, so I will invite him now, so the screen will be blue for a moment. But we still have safety car, so that's not really a problem.
Crimson's car has defaulted onto the soft.
The invite to Gold Crimson has been sent, and there is a lot of cars into the pits and Golden Crimson onto
Oh
an old
no.
set of softs.
It's an old set of softs has put him on. What a shame.
Yeah.
Double now leads the race.
But will that one lap difference be involved at the end?
It could, really could. The pace falls away that quickly.
And I think Golden Crimson is back in the car. He is. But has a bit another set of soft really. It's quite weird that the AI puts him on an old set of softs as they have lots of softs available.
He might have went with the hard setup, the harder tyre compound for the race. I think you only get one soft when you do that. Not actually sure how that works.
Yeah, but I think you can also
Use your qualifying tyres.
yes, but he only I think he did only mediums in qualifying, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, enters.
But we have had some sprint races, especially at Sandfield, where pretty much everything happened. So
Yeah.
the game is not over, and with time penalties included, you maybe still can go to the podium and take some important points.
Very much the case. We already know that Dobbo's gets at least 6 seconds. I'm not
Yeah,
sure what
sometimes.
Senna has.
You can check now from
Crimson pits again.
as expected.
Yeah, he had to.
And that's not really a pain. James has probably heard that we have a safety car and he has joined the session back. So another set soft on for Crimson. He drops out with points, but he can get those points back.
Back of the field for Crimson.
Yes, and the Alphas were running third and fourth at the beginning of the race. We can now have a look at the places, and you'll see that Gobble has moved at 9, same for Chariot and Cassidy, who started last, is up to 7 with 8 positions. And the Alfa Romeo team has a bad day, with Ishcamber also spun. And can Frederick maybe get the win back, or not back, but his first position back where he started from.
Interesting now, it'll just be a straight fight to the end now. 5 laps left, 6 laps. Safety car is in this lap.
So everyone, so go into your seat with some popcorn on, and you should be in for a cracking last 5 laps here at Le Castellet. Can Gobbo make it home? Can Senna, after some loads of bad luck, can get the win, or maybe have a surprise winner?
James is on 5 lap old tyres as well.
Ooh, I think he'll pit also soon or risk a puncture.
He'll probably risk it.
When will Double go onto the throttle? Safety car's in, so he's going now.
Oh, it's gone early. Should catch them out. Caught Senna sleeping.
He has really got a gap, and Frederick's really at the rear of Senna.
Fantastic start.
And the DRS will be enabled with only 2 laps to go, and here comes
All
Chariot.
over the back of James already.
And
Really
and Syriot is really hunting down the podium place.
White gets by James, and so does Oldby. James's tyres obviously are dead there. Couple of laps and the DRS will be out.
Ik got some damage from James. And Golden Crimson really needs to pass those guys quickly.
Yeah.
He's been caught out by the dirty air, and Gobbo has got a cap to Senna.
Yeah, he's working really hard. He knows he has a time penalty.
Yes.
So he'll know what Senna has as well. I think Senna does have a 3-second penalty, at least.
We'll see that in a few minutes.
Start over the fastest lap, 1:30.4. Seriously efficient that.
And Golden Crimson is stuck behind James. And lost his front wing.
This race has turned completely on its head for Crimson.
Yeah, the safety car really killed him.
Yeah.
I think from the next lap we will have DRS, haven't we?
End of this lap?
Yeah, I think starting lap 25.
Yep.
Then the fun behind Sam really begins.
Mike pushing really hard now. He's up into 9th from, I think it was 12th before the safety car, or 11th.
Yeah, he's been at the back for pretty much the whole race and
Yeah.
now getting some points back.
Frederick managing to stay with Senna just now. As Crimson pits again.
Probably to retire. DRS has been activated, so I think behind Cassidy will see some move, as we have now Quinton to the inside of Cassidy as Nadim and Evie are running side by side, and the Williams is in front of the McLaren now. Nadim defends the inside.
Back out on the outside.
Contact!
Oh.
And then Dean defends the position.
You can see Frederick really trying to get past Senna, but he's got Surge to think about behind him.
Yeah, I must say Senna is defending really well the whole race. He has been defending the whole race and didn't lost any position. That's quite a good achievement around this track.
Cassidy and Mike side by side going to turn 1.
Even he goes back to 5th. That's Ebony, but they need to work together to catch the group of Senna for P2. Senna is getting a little bit close to Dobbo, but Senna needs to stay between 11th and he'll get the win there, I think.
See, everybody used up the DRS.
Here goes Nadine back to the inside of Ebony, and up to 5th he goes.
Serge and Frederick actually still have a bit left. Harvesting the RRS really well. Senna, yeah, like you say, Senna really closing that gap now, down to a second.
That's maybe the one that difference that will now come into play. But I think on time penalties, double one will not win the race. And I can show you maybe get the podium. The last time he got the podium was in Vietnam, where he lost the race after the race. Quite weird to say that, but
yeah,
it's how it is.
Mike's finally
Senna's
managed to get past Cassidy as well. Final lap.
Yeah, the final lap of the French Grand Prix, we have a train behind double. And will Senna have DRS? That's the big question. Don't think he will. I'm not sure if he has. No, he hasn't.
He's got Frederick behind him to deal with as well.
Frederick, going Crimson at the fast lap.
That's all he could do, really.
Senna needs to look more behind him, because that's really the battle for the race win. We have double on penalties, if you're just tuning in.
Yeah, you can see those 1 or 2 laps extra that Doubles had on the softs really affected him now, down to half a second. So yeah, another race coming down to time penalties.
How will the podium look like, and who will win the French Grand Prix? Let's see that. Will we maybe see some moves at the final corner? That won't be the case. But here we have... Oh, sorry, that was crashed, but here we have Double winning the race on track, but Senna wins the race. Nadim comes in second. Quentin in third.
Wow, Double all the way down to 9th.
Oh, Ebony to 4th, Frederick to 5th, Surrey to 6th, Mike to 7th, Cassidy in 8th, and Double P9. And King David gets the final points with X-Gamer, Old Boy, James TLH and Golden Crimson. Around in the final corner will not score any points, and Fly People is the only driver to not finish the race.
Wow. That safety car really didn't help Double at the end.
No, it just really killed him, and the disconnection also. If he didn't disconnect, he would
For Crimson, yeah. But I think for Double, the safety car, that never helped, because everybody was bunched up at the end, so his time penalties take a worse effect. But Senna gets a win.
And Sirius gets the driver of the day.
Yeah.
So if you can invite the top 3, then I can go through.
Last time it threw me out of the party, but hopefully that won't happen this time.
Hopefully it won't happen this time, indeed.
Okay.
So the top 3 are the only drivers, except from Golden Grips, who didn't got the penalty. So Senna wins the race in front of Nadim and Quentin, and then we have Ebony in 4th, Frederick from pole position in 5th, Sturridge from P13 to 6th, Mike is coming home in P7th, Cassidy in 8th, Gobble got 14 seconds of penalties, so he's in finishing P9, King David gets the final point, X-Gamer in P11 after he was starting 5th. I was looking for quite a good position. Old Boy, the Australian it's actually said, who's in 12th. James TLH 13th. Golden Crimson with very bad luck at P14. And Fry P with the only driver who didn't finish the race. So you have suggested the top 3, so I'll invite them now.
The invites.
Oh, see you have Senna, but I will invite the other 2.
does this do for the championship now? Well done, Senna. Congrats on the win, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Were you expecting the win?
Not at all, to be fair. As I said it to X Game earlier, I'm gonna be happy when I score points this race. But yeah.
Yeah, because I've been doing some practice sessions with you and you weren't comfortable on the track,
No.
but more and more you were working on your setup and you managed to get yourself into a place you wanted to be.
Yeah, I really wanted to just drive in track limits today, and I think that really gave me the win today. One more lap and I think I would have got double on the track as well, but yeah. I really didn't thought I was able to win this because Dobbo's pace is unbelievable on France and Crimson is a level above everyone in GP2 at the moment, so yeah. I think this win even feels better than my first win.
But you did deserve it after last week.
Yeah, I think I had 3 retirements in a row now and 4 non-points finishes, so
Yeah.
yeah, this is good for my mood again.
And we also had Nadim and Quinton on the podium. And are you guys with us just now?
Yeah, yeah.
How did you feel? Because you two were battling alongside each other for most of the race.
Yeah, I think me and Quinton actually had contact, so I'm not sure what happened there. I'm sorry about that, man. Really didn't mean anything from that. But yeah, from my side, I just tried to keep it clean and like avoid penalties because I knew that might come in handy at the end. So I just tried to keep it clean, and after I pit, I was just kind of staying behind the guys and just keeping it clean going forward. So yeah, I think the first stint went pretty well because I made up quite a few places. So I think that really helped going further.
Fantastic. And what about yourself, Quinton?
Yeah, qualifying was a bit tricky, obviously, but I was pretty happy with the race start, making up positions, overtaking the guys on the softs once it started wearing out. And I felt good for a podium, so I thought maybe a P2 or P1, P2, P3 or something. Unfortunately, there was contact between me and Nadim, but it was really good battle. And, it's okay. And then after the safety car, just try to push and just keep as close as I can. And I knew I had no penalties, so I knew I was going to gain some positions. I just needed to stay close. It was a good race.
It was fantastic to watch. You both obviously went on the one-stop strategy, and then obviously the safety car you switched over to the soft. But yourself, Senna, you started on the soft and then really dragged it out as long as you could. You were losing a lot of time at the first stint. What was your thinking behind that?
Well, that's a lot of practice with you and with Double and other guys. And I really tried to know what the best strategy was, and for me it just was softs to 8 laps, then they're on like 80% wear, then going on hards till the end, and they were like on 75 then. So for me the strategy was clear for myself.
Fantastic. Okay, you got anything you'd like to add, Jim?
No, you did well the interviews.
Next week, obviously, on to Austria. He's looking forward to that track.
No, man. Yeah, it's a good track, but that turn 1 is gonna be so annoying.
Yeah, turn 1's difficult, especially for penalties. Then the last corner too. But yeah, today's a good result for you all for the championship. Looking forward. Yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys, and putting on a fantastic race.
Thank you.
All good, man.
Take care.
Cheers, man.